This is 5 Minute Feng Shui podcast episode 82. Power up your life with your Feng Shui personal birth element. Welcome to the 5 Minute Feng Shui podcast, where each week I talk about how to move energy and make money. You'll learn how to create a prosperous home and an abundant life using classical Chinese Feng Shui. I'm your host, Katie Weber, publisher of the Red Lotus Letter, Feng Shui Easing for Wealth. Each week, I'll cover Feng Shui topics that can help you improve your life, share inspiring stories, and always end with 3 easy-to-implement Feng Shui tips that you can put to work right away, and usually in about 5 minutes. Now let's get started on the 5 minutes that could change your life. Welcome to 5 Minute Feng Shui. Today we're going to be talking about your personal birth element. Have you ever wondered if there is something better for me than another thing? So for instance, maybe a trip to the beach is better than the mountains, or why don't I like going to the desert? Or why do I like going to the desert? Maybe that's a lot of fun. Or maybe I like those active vacations and I really don't understand why. Well, here's a reason why you could possibly like one thing over another, and it could be related to your Feng Shui birth element. So we're going to be talking about how you can use that element to do anything from selecting colors you wear, gemstones and jewelry, even where you take a vacation. I think it's a really fun way to use Feng Shui, and it often gives you insights to things about yourself that you didn't know. And I think you're going to have a really important tool that you'll be able to put into your Feng Shui toolbox to use when you are in your closet and trying to figure out, what am I going to wear today? Or planning a vacation. You've got all these brochures on the coffee table and you're looking at all the possibilities. This can give you some ideas of ways that you can use that personal element to help you choose where you go and pick out that great outfit for the day. Now, one of the things that has helped me always in Feng Shui and in my life is going places and wearing things that make me comfortable. Some places make me more comfortable than others, and some clothes make me feel more comfortable than others. And it's not just the style of the clothing, it's often the color. There's certain colors I really dislike and try to avoid. And for me, that's silver and gray. Not fan of either of those colors. And even though my birth element is water, and gray and silver are considered metal elements, but they're a yin metal versus a yang metal, which is gold. I like gold. I love to wear gold, and both gold and silver are metal, obviously, and they make water, which is my personal element. So that's kind of one of the ways that you can help understand those personal birth elements. It's interesting though that how I don't like the yin, silver and gray color. And I know in my personal elements chart, I have a lot of fire in me. So it's not surprising that I like gold, because it has that it's also sort of a feng shui substitute for the sun. Isn't that fascinating? I just think this is absolutely fascinating. We're going to talk about personal birth elements and what the different types are. And while you're listening to them, you can be thinking about which of these elements really appeal to you, how to use them, and ways to incorporate them in your life. Now, knowing your Feng Shui birth element is related to the year that you were born. So this year we have the metal rat. So even though a rat is considered a water creature, this year is a metal year. I am a water tiger. A tiger is typically considered a wood animal, but the year that I was born, it was in the sign of water. So that helps you to understand when you think about your zodiac sign, you're not always the perfect zodiac sign in terms of, like what I was saying, tigers or wood. You could be a fire tiger. You could be a water horse. You could be an earth monkey. There's all different combinations that just goes on to infinity. So this is just a basic understanding of how you find your birth element. You pick it out or you understand it from the year you were born. So if you want to find out what your personal birth element is, definitely go to my website, redlotusletter.com, and just put in search in the search feature you can say birth element, and that will come up, and it has a listing of the years. But I'm going to give you a really quick cheat sheet for it. This is what's really cool about feng shui. I think about feng shui in patterns and in numbers. A lot of people talk about it in directions and colors and elements and so on, but really it boils down to patterns and numbers, and it's very sequential. This is what's a cool thing about traditional Chinese feng shui. So let's talk about this. If you were born in a year that ends in 0 or 1, like 1950 or 1951, you're a metal element. If you were born in a year that begins or ends in 2, let's say 1952, 1962, or 3, 1953 or 1963, you're a water element. If you were born in a 4 or a 5 year, that's 1974 or 1975, you're a wood element. If you were born in a year that ends in 6 or 7, like 1986 and 1987, you are a fire element. And then the last one, if you were born in an 8 or a 9 year, that makes you an earth element. So if you were born in 1958 or 1959, you're an earth element. So there it is. It's really actually quite fascinating when you look at all these years. So all the years, 41 from 1940, all the decade years, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 2020, lo and behold, a metal year. I find that just absolutely fascinating how that works. So it's a really easy way. Now you know your element. If you know the last year, the number that you were born, there you go. All right. So let's talk about if your birth element is water. Water people by their nature are fluid and transformative. They're deep thinkers who love reflection and meditation. Time spent alone is something they love because they're happy in their own solitude. They like to spend time with themselves. They're sensitive, they're creative, and they have a depth to them that makes them hard to rattle. They can be a very deep thinking and deep feeling people. One of their key personality traits can be worry and fear, though. They can make mountains out of molehills that turn out to be something that they didn't need to worry about at all. And water element people can sometimes withdraw from life or social settings, so there can be sometimes a concern around depressive tendencies. Now, fear is an emotion that can also keep them trapped from moving forward and being afraid of the future, which keeps them from truly experiencing the present or making progress. Now, their abilities to transform, this is what's critical about a water person. They have an amazing transformational capability. And sometimes they can seem like they have various personalities, but it's that adaptability that makes them able to manage a large variety of situations and have incredible diplomacy. So once that fear and worry is behind them, they're very formidable and very powerful, and they can achieve really great heights of success. Now, what are their clothing and decor colors? When you're thinking about using your personal element, you can think about, like I said, everything from your clothes to the upholstery on your sofa, maybe the carpet colors or the wall colors in your home. You want to think about colors that are related to metal. This can be white, gray, gold, or silver, or water colors of blue, black, purple, turquoise, or aqua. Now, decor items, when we're thinking about water element people and the decor items that are appealing to them, you would use metallic objects like mirrors, images of water, or also water elements and colors like blues and aquas that we were just talking about. But you can use that in your clothing. You can also use that in your gemstones. Now, the element that nourishes water people is metal. So great to wear jewelry that, shiny silver or gold jewelry. Now, of course, that depends on what appeals to you. So like I was saying earlier, I'm a water element and I don't like silver and gray. I like it to be activated, but some people like it because it's silver and gray are colors that are softer to them versus gold is garish. So you use and interpret this information how it fits you best. These are also things to avoid for water people, and that would be beige and tan colors, wood or green or brown colors. Now this is not an absolute. Again, I'm a water tiger. Now tigers love that is the color palette exactly perfect for a zodiac sign that is based in wood. So I love to wear green and brown colors all the time, and tan and beige neutrals. So as we're discussing this, just think about how this appeals to you and how this applies to you. Some things may apply and some things don't. Pick and choose. Use those things that are meaningful to you, because I don't want you to feel like you're trapped. I'll have some people that go, I'm an earth person, but I love being near the water. Well, they might be actually a water element. They may be rad, or they may have, there's so many other things besides your birth element that can apply. But it's also fun to use that birth element information to hear how you can use it and help you to dress or decorate or understand your personality. That's another thing that I find fascinating about elements is they kind of key us into some of our personality characteristics. So let's talk about wood element for your birth element. If you have a feng shui wood element people are innovative, they're creative, they love to bring big plans to fruition. They are the grow people. They're bubbling with excitement. They make great project leaders. They're also, some people could call them a type A personality because they're growth oriented, they're assertive, and sometimes they can be a little confrontational. Wood element people have a lot of energy, and because of that, they need that outlet of creativity and physical exercise to help release pent-up energy. Now, if wood people are repressed, that dynamism that they can feel maybe angry or overbearing instead of expansive and growth-oriented. And if it's really pronounced, sometimes this anger can turn inward to depression and worry, and that can create problems for them with excess drinking, with blood pressure, liver or gallstone problems. Now, one of their key personality traits, though, is all around growth and looking at the big picture and being goal-oriented. You need to get something done, get a wood person to do it for you. They are go getters. Now, as unrelenting as grass that grows through a concrete sidewalk, wood element people can do any job that needs to be driven to completion. Their environment needs to support and nourish their energy and find a way to keep it balanced so that they can excel and use that growth energy to manifest great things. Let's talk about clothing and decor colors. So obviously, because they're wood colors like greens and browns, and watercolors. Why? Because water makes wood. So watercolors are perfect in their homes too. So this would be blue and black and aqua and all shades of blue and even purple. Decor items that are helpful for them, that could be wood objects, plants, images of nature or water elements and water colors. Things like aquariums and fountains are really beautiful. They love gardens. It really nourishes their spirit. And the element that nourishes wood people is water. So the clothing and decor elements, let's talk about those colors to avoid. Now, when we think of wood element, we can think of grass, right? Or wood. And what do we do to cut wood down? We use metal. So metal colors and elements are probably not the colors that are going to appeal to a wood element person. Now, if you're a wood element person and you love metal colors and elements, notice how Well, notice your productivity on a given day. So, for instance, if you're wearing colors like metal colors, whether it's white or gray, if you're wearing those types of colors, notice if you feel as good, if you're as energetic. Notice how you feel. Maybe you'll feel great, maybe you won't. But it's helpful to take a look at how you feel. Now, let's talk about the feng shui birth element of fire. Fire element people are exciting. They've got a natural, creative, and expressive flair, and they could be actors. They could do any kind of job that involves speaking or creating. News people, when they're around, they're the life of the party, and they're very affectionate, loving people. One of their key personality traits is their confidence level. And even if they don't always know exactly what they're doing, they have a why not kind of attitude, and that can take them far. They do need to work on focusing their attention to see projects to the end. Health problems can tend toward eye issues, heart, or blood pressure problems. Turned inside out, all that enthusiasm can create anxiety, and they can turn into great big worriers who bite their nails a lot. As a generally happy person, though, the fire element personality can also know the depths of despair, and they can sometimes develop a tendency to be overly dramatic or negatively fixated. A good example is that actor's persona, those masks where you see the happy and sad mask. But the fire person really can move between either of those energies, that happy and sad, really quickly. But overall, they're very optimistic, they're bouncy, and they look for that silver lining in life. We need those people, right? Their buoyant attitude and optimism will help keep them focused and on achievement and help them garner the recognition they definitely deserve. So let's talk about clothing and decor colors. Anything in the fire range, and that's a big range. It can go from the palest pink to the deepest magenta. It can be pink, purple, orange. Also, what feeds fire? Well, that's wood, right? So wood colors are good for fire element people. Wood colors like brown and green, and decor items. We would look for wood objects, plants, images of plants, candles, fire images, or images of the sun. The element that nourishes fire people is wood. So being out in the outdoors, whether they're running or exercising or golfing or just being outside will help nourish them. Now, the clothing and decor colors to avoid would be watercolors like blues and black, or neutral colors like tan, beige, or yellow, because those are the colors of earth, and earth, well, puts out fire, right? When we think about what puts out fire, it's water and earth, right? We throw on a campfire, we throw dirt or we throw water on it. So those are the colors that we want to avoid: blues, blacks, and neutral colors like tan, beige, and yellow. Now let's talk about earth people. Feng shui birth element, earth. If you have an earth element, if you're an earth element person, you put everyone else ahead of yourself. You're one of those wonderful people that take care of others. You're trusting and caring, and people know that you'll come to their aid when they need you. Time spent with friends and family means the most to you. You're polite, you use discretion, you have good manners, and simple courtesies make you very popular with a lot of people. And one of your key personality traits is a need for security in relationships, money, and housing. But you're also very practical and productive and self-sufficient. You'll give the shirt off your back and you know that you love to take care of others. On the downside, the earth element personality can sometimes cause earth element people to become kind of martyrs or let other people take advantage of that good nature that they have. Earth element people can be as immovable as a mountain and have unrelenting stubbornness. In that regard, they can experience unshakable faith and will keep their nose to the grindstone long after others have given up. Earth people can sometimes worry too much about what others think of them, and their health can suffer from overeating and digestive issues around weight, maybe not taking care of themselves as much as they do others. But when they're committed and they practice self-caring and love, an earth element person is a steadfast leader who can bring people together, and that becomes a bridge for their success. Now let's talk about clothing and decor colors for earth element people. This is tan, yellow, orange, ochre, terracotta, beige, red, or purple. And the best element decor items for earth element people would be fires, candles, stone or brick, crystals, earth elements like vases. Now, elements that nourish earth people are fire elements and objects. The colors to avoid for earth element people are white, gray, metallic colors, or green and brown colors. Really bright colors are really the best for them and will help give them more energy and help that digestive system stay fired up, and that helps their metabolism. And we all know that metabolism, that's the key, right? Now let's talk about feng shui birth element metal. If you are a metal person and you have that birth element, remember the metal birth element is the 0 and 1 year. So if you were born on a 0 or 1 year, that's your birth element is metal. Now, metal people are methodical, they're detail oriented and finicky, but in a good way. They're structured and like things to be just so. Now, this is the personality that is cool under pressure and has an even temperament that manages to stay above the fray and isn't given to fits of drama. Your ability to stay focused is well known, and you're just the right people for any job that requires follow through. Now, there can be a judgmental quality about the metal personality that can sometimes take a sort of inward direction. The need to follow rules and keep order can sometimes challenge a mental element personality, and that can lead that person toward depression or feelings of despair. Metal element people are great scientists, doctors, or accountants. In health, their concerns may focus around lungs, such as COPD, smoking, asthma, or problems with infection or digestive complaints like IBS or Crohn's disease, because they internalize a lot of things. Any person where there's an exacting personality is required is the perfect place for a metal element person, and they can excel there. So any profession that needs an exacting personality, that's the metal person. They're perfect for that. It's really their mind that's, when it's focused and free of judgment, that will propel them forward toward their highest ability and help them be the source of their greatest achievement. So when it comes to clothing and decor colors, obviously for metal people, metal colors, that would be white, silver, gray, brass, or metallic finishes, and earth colors, because we bring metal out of the earth, right? We go into mountains to pull out the silver or gold. So earth colors like yellow, tan, beige, terracotta, or even purple are perfect colors for clothing and decor for a metal element person. Those decor items could be metallic elements like metal and iron objects, or earth elements like images of mountains or maps, globes, or earth items such as vases, porcelain objects, and crystals. Now, elements that nourish the metal people, that's definitely the earth element. And that could be anything from vases, like I was saying earlier, or crystals, porcelain objects. Now, let's talk about clothing and decor colors and elements to avoid. And that would be anything related to water, like blue or black, because that drains the metal personality, as well as fire colors such as red or pink or purple or magenta, because fire, we melt gold, right? So fire can destroy metal. All right, we have talked about all the elements, and hopefully you've heard some things about the personality of each of the elements and feel like you have a little bit more of an understanding. Of course, if this doesn't really appeal to you or apply to you, then use what works for you. And obviously, you don't have to live your life by your personality or your birth element, but it is, I find, an interesting way to find insight into why you're more comfortable in certain places. Like for me, I'm a water element. I'm a vacation around water, a beach, a lake, anything around water, a river makes me extremely happy. Going to the mountains is a big snooze. I'm just not crazy about it. It bores me to tears. But that gives me some insight about my personality, and it might give you some some insight into your personality and picking colors and elements for your decor, as well as what you pick out for your daily wardrobe or even your car. It's a fun way to look at that feng shui information and have it apply to you very personally. All right, well, we've talked today about your personal birth element. Let's talk about 3 tips to leave you at the last. Number 1 is know that personal birth element. As we talked about, 0 and 1 is metal, 2 and 3 is water, 4 and 5 is wood, 6 and 7 is fire, and 8 and 9 is earth. Tip number 2, use your personal element to help you pick out decor items for your home. If you're a water person, then something that relates to water, like a beautiful image of the ocean or beautiful fish, might be really appealing to you. And those colors of blue colors. Or if you're an earth person, you like sunny, bright yellows or pink colors. Use those as ways to help you pick colors that are going to make you feel comfortable in your home. And last, use that personal birth element to choose clothing and jewelry. For me, I love it when I can wear clothes and jewelry that are in colors that I feel good in. And it's interesting how different colors have a different appeal to me based on my birth element. So use your element to pick those colors. And if it doesn't work for you, that's okay. This is just one more way that you can use feng shui and use it to personalize your experience. If it works for you, that's great. And if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. It just gives you more options and more choices. Have a terrific week, and I'll talk to you on the next episode of 5-Minute Feng Shui. Thanks for listening to 5-Minute Feng Shui today. The Year of the Rat is coming, and I want to share with you where you can find money, love, and opportunity in 2020. And it's all in my annual Feng Shui Forecast, the Success Pack. You get a full year of in-depth Feng Shui details about how to use the energy of the year for success and prosperity. That's because every year we're showered with a Roman candle of opportunities for money, abundance, love, and opportunity. You just have to know where they are. And my Year of the Rat Feng Shui Success Pack includes all the details for every house and every zodiac sign. You also get this year's lucky clothing, handbag, and wallet colors. So be sure to go to redlotusletter.com/rat for all the details on the Year of the Rat and how to make this year the year of your dreams.